I think honestly, everything is harder for women. I do think women are held to a higher standard than men in general. I do think, if a gentleman says, "Oh, I'm going to leave early, I'm going to my kid's soccer game," that's looked at differently than if a woman says it, still to this day.
A lot of times, it's getting less and less, but when I first started off, I would walk into a room and I was the only maybe woman that was in that room, at that table, involved in that conversation. And so it's knowing how to find your voice.
I think when I was younger, I got a lot of comments like, "Oh, you're a controller?" Because I don't fit the stereotype of like what an accounting, a person in accounting would be. And so I was younger, I was a woman. I always kind of chuckled at that because I was like, oh, I'm doing the same thing. I understand the same concepts.
I think I had some amazing mentors of women who were successful and having kids. When I was still in college, I got asked what I wanted to do, and I said I wanted to be a CFO. And the gentleman asked me, "Well, do you want to have kids?" I said, "Yeah, I want to have 4 kids." And he goes, "Well, you can't do both." And that was kind of disheartening, and I didn't like that answer. And then I was able to find women as mentors that had children and did make great successes, and how they were able to do the work-life balance and yet still get to the pinnacle of their career was a great help.
So I didn't really have a mentor, but I look at my mom. She's the mom of 6, I'm the oldest of 6. She worked nights, like as a waitress when we were younger, just trying to make extra money while my dad worked during the day. She went back and got her master's degree. She had 6 young kids at home. Then she was working full time. I look at her now, like I don't think I had an appreciation for it then, because she just seemed to take it all in stride, and she always had a good attitude, and she just did it. I look at it now and I'm like, oh, how did you do that? Like, I have 2 kids and I just don't know how she did all of it, but she made it look effortless.
I come from a family of really strong women, so all of my sisters are in law enforcement and do jobs that aren't traditionally in that woman or that female role, I guess. And so I've been able to watch them do some pretty amazing things, I think, and that gives you kind of like strength to, oh, well, I want to succeed here as well, if you're seeing them succeed in a situation that's not as comfortable. I report directly to Mark Haley, who's the president, and I think that he's very progressive when it comes to that, but I think that he sees value in having women in leadership roles.
To see women thriving in leadership roles, I love seeing that. I think it's amazing.
I've never felt like I wasn't valued because of me being, a woman, but I do think that, again, it was something that took time, but I think if you have the right people in place, and also we have Jacki as CFO, so I think she's very, pushing for women to have these opportunities when she sees value in them as well.
I really think Smart City, being in technology, has really tried to advocate for their women and their kind of, I'm not saying we're perfect, we obviously still have work to do, but I do feel like we're trying to set the right foundation to continue to grow that, and have done that significantly since I've been here. You see this a lot with jobs that come up. A male candidate may look at a job requirement and there's 10, they qualify for 5, they'll apply for a job. A woman will wait till they hit all 10. So one of the things I do when I try to talk to younger women that are doing finance roles, I go, don't be afraid to apply for those jobs. And also, don't be afraid to ask for promotions. There's this thought that, if I do the work, they're just going to give it to me. That's not the reality. You got to go in, you got to negotiate, you got to make it clear. So women have to do a better job of being their own advocate.
As long as you're knowledgeable, and as long as you are thoughtful, I think, in the way that you approach every situation, you can be taken seriously. You definitely have to work that credibility up, where sometimes it's just given maybe to a man when they walk in.
I would just say, like, don't ever let anybody tell you you can't do something. I've always done what I kind of wanted to do. I had goals and it was like, okay, I'm going to do this, and you can do it. It's just, I wouldn't listen to naysayers at that point.